Definitely is a little bit more to the story. First and foremost, that letter he is holding up, he is severely misrepresenting. Those sentences are real, but I am calling upon Bibi Netanyahu, the dear friend to Charlie Kirk, to publish the letter's entire contents. Like, don't start with just two sentences, publish the entire thing. You're holding it. I'm saying you're severely misrepresenting the contents that in May, Charlie was concerned about Israel and their influence on American politics and how they were pushing things that he felt were in conflict with his beliefs, free speech here in America. Bibi's holding it up like Charlie just in May said, hey, you know what? I just want to write a love letter to Israel. That's how it was presented. Would you guys agree? That's not how it happened. Let's stop saying how Charlie felt, and instead, if you're going to hold up the letter, release it in its entirety. Okay? And lies by severe omission, I'd like to be very clear, are lies.
From the desk of Charlie Kirk. Dear Mr. Prime Minister, one of the greatest joys as a Christian is advocating for Israel and forming alliance with Jews in the fight to protect Judeo-Christian civilization. Most recently, I am proud to have taken over Ambassador Huckabee's show on TBN, where we continuously support Israel and the Jewish people. As Mohammedanism spread into Western society, it is critical that Jews and Christians stay united in the efforts to contain and roll back radical Islam and Sharia law. I regret to report that anti-Israel and anti-Semitic trends are at record levels on social media. These negative sentiments then flow downstream into college campus and even steep into the conservative mega community. My team and I have spent months analyzing these trends and debating ideas that could help you and your country push back against these disturbing developments. Anti Israel sentiments can undermine American support for Israel. The people of this letter is to lay out our the purpose of this letter is to lay out our concerns and outline potential remedies. Everything written here is from a place of deep love for Israel and the Jewish people. I think it's important to be brutally honest with those you love. In my opinion, Israel is losing the information war and needs a communication intervention. I started to compose this letter to you on Easter. I should have been focused on my family, but I was getting bombarded with messages about Israel, Israeli's army, making it difficult for Christians to access churches in Jerusalem on Easter. At the time, I did not see any official statements pushing back on this narrative. It was frustrating because pro Israel surrogates like me should not be in charge of facts. Excuse me. Surrogates like me should not be in charge of fact checking every piece of every piece of anti-Israel misinformation that pours into social media. It wasn't just Easter. On my recent campus tour, half the questions I got are about Israel, and they're all negative. I often spent half my time on these campus tours defending Jews and Israel, which I'm proud to do because I love Israel and love the Jewish faith. I spent endless hours with Dennis Prager over the years studying the Torah. Sometimes it feels like I'm different. Sometimes I feel like I'm defending Israel in public more than your own government. You can see what Candace Owens said when Netanyahu first read part of the letter from Charlie. She stated that wasn't the full letter and that wasn't how Charlie felt about the Jewish people. And so she was saying that, that he should show the full letter. Well, now we see the full letter is out and we can see exactly what Charlie Kirk had actually said. He didn't have anything but positive to say about the Jewish people, other than they need to be more proactive when people speak against them and actually putting out the truth about what's going on with Israel. And then he also stated that he, wanted to protect the Judeo-Christian relationship. By saying that, that lets you know that Candace lied when she said he was praying the rosary, that he was thinking about converting to Catholicism. She she has her own agenda and it has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. Just like I said when I did the first video about this situation, when I asked the question, Candace, are you doing this because you love Charlie Kirk, because you are a true friend to him, or are you doing it because of the hate that you have for Israel? It's like she's sitting up there using this man's death to push her agenda on everyone as far as what she thinks, as far as how she feel about Israel, as far as her relationship with Charlie. And then he has a wife. And I think it's so disrespectful that people disregard that Erica Kirk was his wife, was Charlie's wife. I have seen comments in the comment section where some people saying Candace Owens is going harder for her friend Charlie than his own wife is. His wife lost her husband, Charlie Kirk, not just the man on college campuses, but her husband, the father of her two kids. Now she has to grieve the loss of her husband. Then she also has to deal with the grief of her two daughters who no longer have a father. I think it's more important things that she's dealing with that's right there in front of her instead of running around playing detective. Candace Owens has nothing but time. And you can see this by how she's saying that she got this information from this person. This person sent this information, all this investigations that she's doing. But then you can see also mixed in with all this is lies. So it's hard to believe a person is truly generous about what they're doing when you see that, when you know they hate Israel for one, and you see that the person they're defending also love Israel. So you have to understand that people who get on this platform, a lot of time they speak not because they truly care about what happened to another person, not that they truly care about the truth getting out, not that they truly care about what really happened. They have their own agenda and they're pushing their own agenda. And that's what Candace is doing. She's throwing everything out there, hoping that something will stick so she could say, aha, I told you. All the other stuff that was wrong, she's going to make excuses for it. But even if it's one thing's right, she's going to be like, aha, I told you. And that's what she's doing. And that's what the people that's following her are doing. They're forgetting that this man had a wife and two kids, that she is grieving over her husband. You see the letter. It's a 7-page letter. You can read it for yourself. You see what he actually was saying about Israel, about his relationship, about how he loved defending Israel. And that was so contradictory from what Candace Owens was saying, how Charlie felt. Because, she was his best friend. So she knew exactly how he felt. She's disregarding his wife by putting herself in that position. I was his best friend, being Charlie Kirk's friend. I know this about Charlie Kirk. He has a grieving wife. He has two grieving daughters.